Hey Pisces, happy May 2017. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. As usual, I shuffle the cards beforehand, but I like to add a little more energy as we get started. Again, I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm finally getting all the signs out for this month. I've had a lot of projects going on. Before I had some internet issues. I don't know if it was the retrograde or what's going on, but back in full swing. Hope everybody's doing amazing. As you know, my reads are based on love and relationships, but if I find anything else pertinent, I will bring that to the forefront as well. Any comments, like subscribes, if you want a private reading, donations, etc., all the information is below. As you know, I move pretty fast because I have a lot to say, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Check your sun, moon, and rising. This is a general read, focusing on love and relationships. Hopefully this resonates with the majority of you, but check your other signs to get any more clarity. And hopefully that helps as well. So let's get started. So coming into the month, we always start with your current state of mind or current position moving into May. And Pisces, you have the Empress, which is actually an excellent card. So this is Mother Nature in itself. So for both singles and couples, this is telling you to get out in nature. Whatever you're doing, take time, get out. It's been beautiful where I live in North America right now. It's spring in most parts, and that means fresh air, stop and smell the roses, etc. For singles, this is about sensuality. So a lot of you are feeling very good about yourself, positive. You're feeling one with nature. You're feeling one with yourself, one with your soul. You're meeting people, and it seems like regardless of who you meet, personality-wise, looks-wise, you can find something good about them, and they can find something good about you because you're radiating right now. So that's excellent because I see a lot of you like dating, and it doesn't matter if you know right off the bat you're not attracted to them, or maybe, you know, they have a dry sense of humor. Maybe there's something about them that doesn't reflect, you know, somebody you'd want to have a long-term relationship with. However, this is you just kind of enjoying people generally, making friends and saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. He may not be the guy that I pictured or the girl that I thought, you know, I'd be attracted to, but I'm going to have fun with it. And there's things attractive about them. Singles are in tune with, you know, not necessarily looks, but it's almost like this month you're gazing into people's souls. You can see other things about them that make them beautiful from the inside out, not just the outside. So for singles, I sense you're kind of going with the flow, which is awesome. I have to say, Pisces, that the water signs this month have just been incredible. Maybe it's because of the way water signs have always been kind of in tune with nature and are on a more emotional level sometimes than other signs. Not that other signs don't, you know, every sign has their own qualities that are amazing, but water this month has definitely been on the happier, more positive side than some other signs. So again, for singles, this is just enjoying it, having like a fruitfulness about dating. Maybe you're having a plethora of suitors, or, you know, people are asking you out again and again on second, third dates, whatever it is. The majority of you are coming into this month just feeling on top of the world. No judgments, no hate, no, just feeling really good. And it feels like this is something you've needed for a long time. For couples, this is about babies, babies, babies. Not everybody, and a lot of couples don't want babies, and you don't have to have babies to be in a relationship. It doesn't have to be everybody's end goal, but this is definitely Mother Nature. So some of you are getting ready to nurture. You know, you're already nesting. You're feeling that motherly love come alive. Somebody out there is pregnant, and you haven't told your partner. I don't know why, but that just popped into my head that you're like waiting, I don't know, for that 3-month rule. Or maybe, you know, I know a lot of people wait for 3 months because unfortunately things do complicate in pregnancy sometimes. Maybe some of you just found out you could adopt, or it's weird. For very few of you, it could even be one person. Somebody just found out they can adopt, but it was like a family situation, or you knew somebody in your family was having a baby and they weren't capable of taking care of them, taking care of the child, nor did they want that responsibility, and you knew that you and your partner wanted to adopt, or maybe, you know, a neighbor or somebody. I just get a sense that some of you, or one of you, or whoever is adopting a child, but it's not from like an agency. It's through like a family connection, or knowing somebody who possibly was, you know, having a baby and you're looking to adopt, and it just kind of fell into place. This is also couples who do have kids, or, you know, maybe even pets, because I consider my pets, you know, my babies as well as children. I think some of you might just be in the groove. You're feeling good. Summer's coming. You're planning summer camp or trips with the family, and couples are just feeling like, hey, we see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. There's been a lot of things, ups and downs since last year, and we're going to have summer. Or some of you parents, you know, who work, I know that I work through the summer, and that can affect, you know, my child. You're finding something else this year to maybe you normally don't get the summer vacation, or you normally don't get the time off. And again, it doesn't mean you necessarily have kids for this. It just means that couples are finding the time and making the time to like take a trip, or take a staycation, or take a weekend trip. Whatever it is, everybody seems to be feeling very good coming into May, and hopefully it continues throughout May, Pisces. So the next card you have is often feelings or challenges. So again, these are internal factors, and they either help or hinder the Empress. And you have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is definitely not a hindrance. This card is all about creativity. So for singles, this is creativity, energy, passion, enthusiasm. So for singles, it's definitely the passion. Some of you are feeling very good about yourself, like I said, but not in overconfidence, not in a, you know, in a way that's negative. You're feeling just good, and you're emulating the good onto other people in a genuine way. So it's a confidence that is reflecting on your morals, and, you know, who you want to be inside, and the good person you really are. For singles, this is definitely, you're putting energy into dating, but you're putting energy into not the ho-hum of going to meet for a drink, or going to a coffee house and meeting for a drink. This is more of, you know, hey, do you have a dog? I have a dog. Let's go to the dog park. Or there's, you know, this hiking trail that has a waterfall, and let's, you know, meet there, or whatever the case may be. Maybe there's art shows and festivals and things outside, and you're just kind of like, you're very enthusiastic, and you're raring to go, and you're very creative. And for singles, this is also creativity at work. So some of you are coming up with new ideas. You know, some of you may work in the arts, but I'm getting more of just, you have the ability to help enhance things at work, and you're going to be coming up with new ideas, maybe new projects, etc. But there's definitely a passion here for single Pisces. You're emoting not only, you know, a confidence, but also that sensuality of the Empress. You're definitely feeling good, and that's making you very attractive to, you know, opposite sex, same sex, whatever direction you're going for. Whatever it is, you're going to attract what you want, and in a good way. Yes, there's going to be some lust and whatnot, and that's not negative either. I mean, physical attraction is very important too, but it's going to be a positive. It's not going to be just a, you know, it's not going to be like catcalling type dating. You're going to have people who genuinely want to get to know you, but they're also genuinely attracted to you. And you're attracted to a lot of them as well. Like I said, with the Empress, you're just feeling like it doesn't matter. There's good things about every. It's wonderful. Like the feeling right now in the beginning of May for Pisces is amazing. For couples, this is also about creativity, enthusiasm. So again, if you are planning for kids, or, you know, you're broadening your horizon, your family, you're coming up with creative ideas for, you know, a new kids room, etc. And again, this could be for families who are finally taking that first trip anywhere you want. I don't want to be cliche and say Disneyland, but why not? I mean, kids love Disneyland. They love that type of stuff. SeaWorld and all those places. I mean, this could definitely be you know, the family vacation you've been waiting for. Maybe it's taken you years to save up or get there or be in that mindset or be able to take off of work or whatever the case may be. I just see a lot of creative, fun activities, and the passion between the couples this month is also amazing. Maybe, you know, doors and windows open and spring cleaning and everybody's feeling amazing. You're just on a different level. And as couples, yes, I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect this month and there's not going to be any, you know, bumps, but I hate to say that, because why can't you just have a month where there's not? And Pisces, if this is a month where as couples you're going to be ebbing and flowing very well, this is going to be it, and enjoy it. So don't get into the negative headspace of what if. Just do it and get creative with it. You know, treat each other with little gifts or different, you know, come up with different ways of making things happen. Again, this is also, like I said, enthusiasm. So you're enthusiastic about the future and being together. I don't see any negative courses, and I'm really happy for you. Okay, so the next card you have is past relationships. Any traits or troubles of past relationships usually reflect in this card in the spread. And you have the Fool, which is really great because that's not a negative card. However, this is definitely a very good card. And the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana, which is the cycle of life. So the Fool is about, and I always read the past, and again, this is distant past, so this is over the past few years. It could be 10 years ago. I read singles and couples together in this card. So this is fearlessness, innocence, potential. This is telling me that a lot of you were in a long-term relationship. A lot of you were with a high school sweetheart. Maybe you still are, but for the majority of the people watching, I think this is where you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, some of you 30 years ago. This was a relationship that wasn't negative, but it was definitely, you were innocent to everything. You had not been in a relationship ever, or not a serious relationship, and maybe you were guided and you loved the relationship with a childlike innocence. However, that got you into some trouble because eventually real life hit, real responsibilities, and maybe you weren't ready for it. Some of you were led to be a fool in the relationship. Some of you maybe were seeing people who were older, more experienced in relationship. They made you promises, and in the end, they fooled you. They pulled the wool over your eyes. I see some cheating. I see some people who didn't know any better. You thought you'd be together forever, and guess what? It didn't happen. And it was like your whole world was turned upside down. Some of you wish that you could go back to feeling that innocent, or that time of when you actually loved somebody and there was so much potential in that relationship. And maybe that's what it comes down to, is that a lot of you haven't felt that way. You know, maybe singles and couples haven't felt that way in years and years and years. And every time you think of the best relationship you've ever had, you think of this past relationship. Yes, a lot of you it didn't end well. And a lot of you it was just a learning experience. But, you know, you wish you could get back there. The truth is, you can to some degree, but for the majority of you, this was, you know, 19, 20 years old. Some of you 25, some of you 17, 16, 15. This was a long time ago. So maybe some of you have chased that, and now you kind of need to get over that past relationship because it's not reality. And maybe that's what played out here, is that you realize it wasn't reality. This wasn't real. Yes, you love that person and they loved you, but in the end, you were made to be the fool, and you don't appreciate it. So while you appreciate the fantasy of it and how amazing it was in the beginning, you're going to have to realize that what you have now, or what you're looking for now, whether you're single or coupled, could be far better than that. You just have to realize that relationships aren't always easy. They're not always a fairy tale. There's going to be ups and downs. The next card you have is the most recent past, so the past few weeks. And you have the Hermit. So the Hermit is definitely a good card, and that's actually fitting that it moves into here, or that, you know, this kind of moves into there actually, because this is where you are now, and that's the past few weeks. But the Hermit is about retreat, wisdom, spirituality. So for singles, this tells me that a lot of you sat back, thought about what you wanted. Maybe you had a recent breakup in January, February. I'm getting a 2 for some reason, and a 2 tells me maybe February or 2 months ago, or however you want to read into that. It could be 2 years ago. Maybe it's been a long time since you've had a relationship and you've been dating, and I get the sense that you're just like, ugh, it's been terrible. And so you took the past few weeks to really gain some spirituality. What do I want? Maybe you are spiritual. And I'm not saying it has to be church spirituality or a conformed religion necessarily, but it definitely tells me that some of you have found something you enjoy. Maybe it's, you know, some type of spiritual class, or maybe it's a new religion that nobody's heard of, or maybe it's an old religion like Buddhism, which of course would play into nature and those things. So whatever it is, a lot of you have decided that you want a higher power type feeling. You want to reach a higher level within yourself and get to know yourself on a higher level than just the conscious. And so you did that, and that's what's bringing you into this Empress of just feeling good. And maybe some of you have gone to like spirituality classes, or even non-spiritual, just gone to yoga, bettering yourself from the inside out, or meditation. Doesn't mean you have to have picked a religion. It just means for a lot of singles, you've taken time to get yourself, gain that wisdom, and get yourself in order, and now you're feeling on top of the world. For couples, same thing. I get the sense some of you have had some ups and downs, and you've retreated. Maybe part of the reason the baby situation is coming up is because maybe there was a miscarriage or something beforehand, and you kind of retreated. You went back into your cave and you said, hey, you know, let's start over, but let's get through this and figure out where we want to go from here. This also tells me for couples that you also did the spiritual thing. Maybe there were some ups and downs. Maybe your relationship was having some trouble and you went to a counselor. And maybe for some of you that was a guidance counselor at church or something like that. Again, this just feels like for your relationship, a healing process. Kind of going into your man or woman cave, but doing it together and saying, whatever this is, whatever junk we've had to deal with, and maybe there was some family issues, and I get the sense it's not even family issues within your own family or within your relationship, more like external family issues, like a mother or father getting dramatic, or sister or brother getting dramatic, or something that was affecting your relationship, and you retreated. You said, nope, we're done. We're not doing this. Maybe it was the holidays. Maybe there was a lot of crap going on. Whatever it was, you decided to better your relationship, and in order to do that, you had to get rid of the negative energy affecting your relationship. For some of you, it's, you know, growing older together, so to speak. So you've gotten past like the young, you know, college days, the partying or whatnot, and you've kind of gained the wisdom of moving your relationship to the next step, which is on a little more of a mature level. You seem to be growing a little older, and therefore your knowledge is growing as well, if that makes sense. The next card you have is in future, and this is over the next few months, not just for the month of May. And you have the Emperor, and man, your spread is loaded with major arcanas. You have the Empress, the Fool, the Hermit, and the Emperor. So the Emperor is kingship, structure, authority. So for singles, this is telling me that some of you are kind of footloose and fancy free. You're meeting people, you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, you're doing whatever you want now, and this tells me in the future you're going to meet somebody and you're going to rein it in. So you're having fun, you're doing things now. You're not going to rein in the fun, you're not going to rein in the positive energy, but whatever you're doing now, there's more to life than just that. So it's like you're dating people, you're fancy free right now, but you realize that in the next few months, in order to have something strong or something genuine with somebody, other things come into play. Work, maybe some of you are single parents, some of you are divorced, etc. So yes, you're having fun with it now, and yes, you're enjoying time in nature, and yes, you're coming in just feeling amazing, but you realize over the next few months that while you'll capture that spirit and still feel good, you're going to have to rein in and understand that with that comes responsibility. Now, interesting, the opposite might happen for some of you, because some of you, this may be new and not something you're used to, and you're always the traditional emperor, because the emperor is all about structure. And for some of you, you're dating, and everybody here seems to be pretty, you know, free-willed and just kind of letting things go with the flow. But some of you are already the emperor. Some of you already have that structure and that tradition, and you're looking for somebody to get you out of that a little bit, because maybe, you know, maybe whatever this relationship was let you down so bad that over the past few months you've been going, I can't be a fool again. I can't be made a fool. And maybe even the past few years, everything in your life has been so structured and so traditional that you couldn't even fathom going off of that path, and you're going to need to. So for singles, I see this as being a double-edged sword. Some of you are going to have to structure it. You're going to date, you're going to have fun, and you're going to catch a fish, and you're going to hold on to that person tightly. But you're going to have to structure it and realize that with that comes responsibility, and things aren't always going to be fun and games. For some of you, it's the opposite. You're going to catch the fish, but you're going to have to realize that you're going to have to allow yourself to enjoy those fun and games more than you have recently. For couples, this tells me that this is about structure as well, and traditional. And this tells me that you're definitely going to be looking at family structure inside your relationship. So some of you have kids and you're looking at that. What's interesting is I just got a weird, like not a weird, but very, so some of you, maybe some of this mother nurturing too is not just about having kids, but you have kids going to college. Some of you, this is like, hey, this is their year. They're heading off to college, and you're not going to be the emperor the next couple months. Like, get your butt in gear over the summer because you've got bags to pack. You're going to college in the fall, and this is responsibility, Mr. or Mrs. And you better realize mom and dad mean business, or mom and mom, or dad and dad, or whatever your situation is. Yeah, you're going to do this, and you're going to do it different than me, because I see a lot of parents going, man, I messed some things up, or man, wish I could have done this differently. And that's where the emperor's coming in going, okay, we're going to have fun. We're going to plan this family vacation. This will be our last hurrah, whatever the case may be. But then you're going to get your ass in gear, and we're going to buckle down for the, for the fall, and make sure that our kid is off to college, or maybe even as a couple, one of you is in college and this is like graduation just happened and now it's time to buckle down and get a job, or you're going to buy a house, or you've got different things. So something's coming up for couples that you're going to need to have the structure. Not that you're not going to have fun or take the vacation or do whatever's going to be nice for you during the summer, but you're definitely going to have to buckle down for something. And it could be, again, having a child or adopting a pet. Those are major things that take responsibility. So whatever it is now, you're enjoying yourself, and you're still going to enjoy yourself. The Emperor's not a bad card, or is some big guy going, no fun, you can't have any fun. This is just about making sure things move in a good, positive direction. The next card you have is your immediate future. So the next few weeks, and you have the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is definitely positive as well. This whole reading has been nothing but positive, and that's great. This is about victory, pride, achieving goals. So for singles, you're feeling on top of the world. You're going to be victorious. You're going to meet somebody amazing. Again, this is confidence, and not in a conceited way. You are going to get exactly what you want. So you took the time off as the hermit to figure out what you wanted. You got over this past relationship of feeling kind of like you didn't know how to be in a relationship at all. Your creative juices are flowing, and you're the Empress who's going to get the Six of Wands, which is victory. You're going to find somebody you want, and you put the time and energy into it, so you should. So again, the next few weeks are going to be achieving that successfully. This is also can be work. So some of you are achieving great things at work. Again, like I said, with this Ace, some of you are feeling the need to go above and beyond and be the driving force, or the creative force behind a project or something. And you're definitely going to show your way that, there. It's interesting, the Six of Wands card also has the, to me, it almost looks like, and I know it's different, it definitely looks like a victory, but it almost looks like, like a dark airport where the road is kind of lit, or the landing plane is kind of lit for the plane to land. For some reason that comes to fruition. So some of you who are single are going to be taking trips. Maybe you're going on single cruises, or you're going on you're flying somewhere, and you're going to meet somebody when you're out visiting family, or taking vacation with friends, or something like that. But you're definitely going to achieve what you're looking for and meet somebody. Whether it's your soulmate, I don't know yet, but it's promising. For couples, this is also the same thing. This is pride, achievement. So some of you achieved what you wanted, which was to get pregnant or adopt a child. And you're achieving that victory as well, and you're feeling good about it. Again, confidence for couples too, but not in a conceited or negative way. This could reflect the same thing for you. An airplane landing, family vacations, a couple vacation. Maybe some of you just got married. You're going to take a honeymoon. You haven't had a chance to take a honeymoon. For some of you, I do see this is like, you know, you've been waiting to do this for a long time. Some of you couples, this is going to be moving in together, buying a house. And the summer is the perfect time to do it. And so you have like one more month. Again, I can't get over the college situation. So if you have kids going to college, they made it. You're proud parents. You're going to graduation, you know, this month and next. And they're going to college, or maybe you as a couple or one of you has achieved your goal of getting your degree or finishing something. It doesn't even have to be college. It could be like vocational, something that you've been through, certificates, etc. But this is definitely a celebration the next few weeks of you obtaining something that you've worked out hard and finding victory. The next card you have is future external factors, so things that externally are going to affect your month of May. And you have the Star, and this is like, this read is probably the best read so far this month, and the best out of the water signs by far. The Star is all about hope, generosity, self-esteem. So again, for couples, you have that hope, and this month is going to show that promise and that hope come to fruition. You're inspired. You're feeling amazing. Maybe it's nature, so you're inspired to get out there. Whether you're even going in nature, you're just inspired to meet people, and the Star is telling you, look, you're going to meet one amazing person. You're going to find that you're meeting several people, and again, you're going to see the good in them, and they're going to see the good in you, because you are the shining star this month. And so you will find one, but you're going to find one among a plethora. So you might go on dates, but it's all going to feel positive. I get the feeling, singles, when you meet that person, you're going to know. It's going to be like kind of like a gasp or take your breath away. Whatever it is, this read, at this point, I feel like I don't even need to turn over the last 3 cards, because it's going to be just rainbows and flowers the rest of the month. So the Star is, again, about hope, and you're full of it. For couples, the same thing. This is about, self-esteem, generosity. So some of you are planning this major trip, and you're going to be generous in it. There's no holding back, because whatever it is, you need to do it as a family, you need to do it as a couple, and you're feeling amazing together with it. This is also hope. So you're hoping for a child, hoping to adopt, and everything externally is feeling like it's coming to fruition. For couples, it's interesting too, because this is about self-esteem. So maybe some of you are accomplishing college, or maybe some of you are having a baby or whatnot. But there's something bigger here. For couples, this is somebody needed it. I feel like there was one partner, or maybe both, but no, I get the feeling it was one partner, and possibly you, Pisces, that was just feeling depressed and anxious and insecure and not well. And maybe there was even illness behind it, although I'm not getting anything major, but maybe it does have to do with, maybe you tried and couldn't have a baby, and now it's coming to fruition. But this is definitely somebody in the relationship was starting to lose faith, or starting to lose hope, or maybe you were losing hope in each other or faith in each other. And this tells me that it's back, and you both see it, and it's reflecting inside your relationship and outside. The next card you have is internal factors, and this is, how you're feeling internally throughout the month, and that's interesting. So you have the Tower. So I'm going to start off with saying, again, this is internal. So this is how you're feeling inside. So this is telling me that while all of this goodness is going on, you are worried about self-sabotage. So for singles, you are doing fantastic, you're feeling fantastic, you're feeling creative, but throughout the month, you're going to go revert back occasionally. It doesn't seem like it's going to stick. There's too much good here to stick, but you're definitely going to be like, what if? What if I put all my energy into this person and they just don't like me that much? What if I can't read the red flags and I pick the wrong person? What if? Don't do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, with all this positive energy and how you feel right now, don't do it. And I don't think you're going to, but I think this is you being realistic and saying, okay, I've met this amazing person, but I can't hold the expectation that they're always going to be amazing. I think it's more of a revelation of, this is amazing. And while I don't want the other shoe to drop, and I'm not going to assume that something negative is there, and I'm not going to self-sabotage this, because Pisces, you're going to promise yourself that you're not going to self-sabotage anything good. You are, however, realizing that you do need to be realistic. So maybe that tells me that some of you have decided that you don't want to be this person. You kind of feel like you were played for a fool before, and now you're feeling fantastic. You want to make sure that nobody's telling you anything that isn't true. So you're reading the signs, and maybe it's just saying that, ooh, okay, well, that's it too. I just got the feeling that some of you have somebody coming back into your life, and you're going to realize that if you were to take them back, that would be crushing for you. And some of you have met somebody or are going to meet somebody single-wise that you know if you stuck with them, it would be kind of destruction or dissolution of how you feel right now. So some of you might have somebody who's like amazing, but you know there's something else going on. Here's the thing. Don't settle for something this month. Just promise me. This is telling me that some of you singles are going to be fed some fairy tales because of how you're feeling and because how generous you're being with yourself and your soul. And you're going to be fed things that you've got to read the red flags, and you know it. And so you're going to kind of have a blip where you're going to feel like, wait a minute, this person's too good to be true. And if you feel that and you know in your gut, then skip over it and move on to somebody else because you know it. For couples, this is interesting. This is you kind of going, maybe stepping back a little bit. This, for some reason, tells me financially that some of you are going to be like, oh, what are we doing now? You know, I finished college, or, you know, we have kids off to college. How are we going to make this happen? Also, you know, the trip. Some of you are splurging, or, and again, it may not be a trip. Some of you are buying a house, and you just see this inferno of money engulfed, and this is kind of like, you know, dissolution, and you're going, oh, shoot, you know, this is going to ruin our future, whatnot. Don't do that either. Keep the positive vibe going along. And I get the feeling that some of you who are adopting or something like that, you might all of a sudden get, well, we're not sure, or everything was fine, but now it's not fine. So again, don't let the tower scare you, because maybe it's just getting rid of some of the things that you've kind of worried about, and they're going to like burn around you, and it's just going to lead to a path that you know you need. So if there have been ups and downs in adopting or having a child, you've been worried about it, or maybe, you know, one of you is going to feel like a blip of anxiety or depression or something that you had been feeling, but it's not going to ruin you. You just have to deal with the internal fact of not everything's always going to be wonderful and roses. The next two cards you have are your hopes and fears, which you have the Two of Swords, which half of the signs have gotten this month. And that your tower is not going to burn down. This is going to be maybe a blip or something this month that you're going to have to think about. And you're going to have to realize that you don't need to react negatively to it. And it's not going to ruin your entire month. So the Two of Swords being your hopes and fears is duality, decision making, choice. So for singles, this is definitely, you're going to have a lot of options. But this hope and inspiration is going to carry you to make the right decision. You're going to kind of feel like maybe your hands are tied, like, how do I do this? How do I pick one person? Everybody seems so amazing, but that tells me that this tower is going to narrow it down for you. Somebody's going to get weeded out without you even having to do anything, or they're going to say something or do something that's going to immediately tell you, you'll know exactly what decision to make. So for singles, you'll feel like you have choices to make. You'll feel like you're at a stalemate. You can't decide. And something will happen with this tower, and your internal radar will go off and say, oh, this is what you got to do, or oh, stop right here, we're done, I know who it is. For couples, this is the same thing. This is duality. So you're feeling amazing, you're feeling wonderful, but you're wanting to go to this traditional emperor immediately and make sure that things are focus, 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 but you don't have to do that. And again, this is internal. So this is hopes and fears. You're fearing that, oh, you know, should we splurge on this vacation? Should we, you know, do, you know, whatever plans, moving into a house. You're going to kind of be second guessing, double checking everything. And this is a duality too. So this tells me that some of you, you know, in your relationship, some of you are gung-ho and your partner's like, ooh, and some of you are kind of, and your partner's gung-ho. So this is kind of telling me that you're together on it, but you're both pulling a little bit on, well, he's really excited or she's really excited or whatever the case may be. But I think, you know, we got to manage this a little better. Just let go a little bit, because the Ten of Coins tells me for both singles and couples, this is generosity. This is excess. So this is an abundance. So for singles, again, you're going to have the abundance of suitors. You're going to make a choice. And even if you make the wrong choice, let's say you make a choice this month and you think it's the right person, it turns out to not be the right person, it doesn't matter, because there's going to be another generous outpouring of love and people available to you. This doesn't just stop with May. There's an excess of suitors and people who want to be with you. So don't let anything crush you or make you think like you're not deserving. Don't get into the funk of, you know, oh, dating's too hard, or I can't do this, or nobody's gonna, or I'm never gonna find it, or whatever. You will, and you are. This is an amazing spread. Are you kidding me? You have the Star, which is one of the best cards, and you have Arcanas out the wazoo. So amazing. Singles, this is your month to shine. Couples, the same thing. The Ten of Coins is about legacy. So for you, again, babies, adoption. This is kids going to college. This is, you're going to feel generous. You're going to take the family vacation. You're going to take the couple vacation. You're going to bring the dog. You're going to do whatever it is. But you're going to realize that this is what matters. This is the plethora of love between you and your partner, maybe your kids, maybe your pets, whatever your family is about. This is a wealth, and this is a wealth of love, and this is a wealth of, you know, strong bonds and everlasting memories, and that's what's important. So Pisces, unbelievable. You're going to have an amazing month. It's going to carry into June. I can just feel it. Maybe it carries into the entire summer. Whatever the case is, I'll see you next month, but great things, Pisces. Take care.